Brighton and Hove Albion 1, West Ham United 1. Good evening, everyone. It's a Sunday night show, just with me this week until I could have got more people on tonight. Actually, I just didn't have enough time to organise it. I have arranged for a team of people to jump on and start doing these shows with me moving forwards, but that will probably be from next weekend. I'll be honest, I've been through a roller coaster of emotion since that lineup was released. Pretty sure that most people would have been the same as me, coupled with that first half performance as well. Not performance, just non-event, which is what I thought it was. But look, we're going to get into the game. We're going to do phone-ins. We're going to do other bits and pieces as well. But I'm going to rattle through the game, have a little chat with you lot in the comments, and then start taking phone calls for anyone that does want to phone in. Now, as always, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and don't forget, drop a like on the video because it does really help us. I'm hoping that the mic doesn't piss around tonight. It shouldn't do. I've jiggled things around a little bit. But yes, Nuno made quite a few changes, sweeping changes today, which I found bizarre. He went to the back three, which I don't like. He brought Kilman back in. So we had a back three of Mavro, Kilman and Toddy. Then we had Lucas Paqueta, Rodriguez, and we had Roddy and Fernandez in the middle. Lucas was in there as well, but he was more in between the lines. So Paqueta was kind of in there sort of floating around, knitting midfield to attack, or trying to anyway. And you had sort of Somerville more or less up front on his own an awful lot, with Bowen supporting, doing more defensive work, I would say, in the first half. Now, the first half, you could just show a clip of Somerville's chance that he had, which was a good chance as well, out of nothing. And that would be it. That would summarise the first half. I weren't happy. I really weren't. Was Nuno's plan to sort of tuck in, sit tight, park the bus, and try and hit him on the counter-attack working? Yeah, it was. Killing the game, parking 5 bodies. It was a 5-4-1. That's what we was doing. We were so deep. Brighton were just playing in front of us. There was no intensity in that game. Brighton had the ball for the lion's share of it, but they couldn't do anything because they just didn't have the craft to cut open the wall that was in front of them. So I suppose you've got to say, fair enough. Nuno, you've killed the game stone dead. We're not creating nothing, but neither are they. It's dead. It was a non-event. And at half-time, I wrote a really angry post on YouTube. Because that football makes me sick. Now, I know that's going to be going again. By the way, this is going to change, by the way. I'm going to take you through my emotions of the game. That football makes me sick, physically sick. I can't stand it. It's anti-football. Most of the people that was in the group with me today that have all got different opinions, everyone had the same opinion. I was like, I want to turn this off. What are we watching here? What even is this that we're watching? Dropping Magassa after he just put in a man in a match performance and got a goal, dropping Potts, bringing Guido in. You just like, what are we even watching here? It was like more defensive than anything else. But I appreciate we're playing Brighton. Brighton are a very good team, especially at home. And look, you have to say Nuno's plan worked. His plan was to kill the game dead, so no football could be played, and try and hit him on a counter-attack. It almost worked. Jimmy should have scored. That's the first half. And that's half-time. I was contemplating not watching the second half. I was that miserable with the whole thing. Alan, I've got you there, mate. That's brilliant. Can you call in? Do that in a minute. 1 second. Stay there a minute. Alan? Hello, Alan. No, it ain't worked. All right, yeah. Don't phone in yet. It's not phone in time yet. He's trying again. Alan. Right, so where was I? Yeah, so the first half was done. Yeah, fair enough. You can say Nuno's plan worked. It was, well done. Tick. Killed the game of football dead. Almost nicked it. Committed a robbery. Fine. Second half, he comes out with the same team. We look completely different though. It wasn't what I expected. So we all of a sudden played further up the pitch. And I would say that for probably 20 minutes or 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, we were good. Like, we were good to watch all of a sudden.
So we had the same shape, but we were playing higher. We caught Brighton out completely. I don't think they were expecting that. I think we just killed them in the first half. I think they thought that we were going to do the same again, but we didn't. We kind of went after them, created some brilliant chances. You know, Bowen came to life. He came to life all of a sudden. Paqueta was doing a good job in between the lines. Fernandes was fantastic in the first half, by the way. Forgot to mention that. By far our best player in the first half. Continued into the second half as well. Yeah, it was fine. We was creating chances. You're like, this is half entertaining what I'm watching now. And then Callum Wilson comes on. So we have a few chances. There was a brilliant chance, wasn't there, from Bowen where he got a shot away and then it rebounded out. The keeper saved it. And then Somerville put in an actual blinding effort because he was leaning backwards and to the side, managed to get a volley off, and the keeper made a brilliant save. Would have been a great goal. So unlucky from Jimmy. He was a constant threat the whole game, but there is no end product with this guy, is there? Not just his shooting. There was a couple of moments like interplay with him where the final ball just weren't there. It's almost like he moves too fucking quick, and it's kind of, you know, he can't measure anything. Either he's finishing or he's just, you know, he's just come back from injury. But he was lively. He was a threat. You know, I just wish there was, if there was end product there with him, you're probably looking at a 50, 60 million pound player, aren't you? But yeah, so first of all, Freddie Potts came on for Rodriguez. I don't know why that sub even had to happen because Potts should have been starting. Potts or Magassa. Why was Rodriguez on there? I mean, look, Roddy didn't do anything catastrophically wrong, but he didn't do anything. That's the reason why Fernandes had such a good game. He was having to do twice the work that he would normally because he had Rodriguez next to him. But he did it. Fair play. But Nuno did notice the work rate, the workload that Fernandes was under, and he rectified that. He brought Potts on. Fair enough. Got him on. Pottsy picked up a yellow card. Then on 72 minutes, Wilson comes on for Somerville. Brilliant change. I mean, Callum Wilson, look, the player that we all loved to hate before he came in, didn't want him here. You know, all said he's finished, this, that, the other. He was fucking brilliant, wasn't he? Like when he came on, I mean, what a player. He literally created a goal straight away. So a beautiful ball slipped down the outside for Bowen. Kadioglu raced in on the inside of Bowen, thought that he had the angle closed off, didn't think that there was any chance that Bowen was going to get a shot off. Bowen almost slide tackles a ball into the goal from a really acute angle with his left foot across the keeper. Brilliant goal. Goal out of nothing. Weren't even a chance, to be fair. You know, he scored from nothing there. It was impressive. It was good. And we sort of carried on. Like I said, that was... What minute did we score in the end? It was 73 minutes. So he scores on 73 minutes. So literally a minute after Wilson comes on, he assists. And that's when it all starts going downhill. Because we was 1-0 up. We started regressing. And then all of a sudden... it gives it 9 minutes by the looks of it. First of all, Souček comes on for Fernandes, and then Magassa comes on for Paqueta. Well, that's two defensive. I mean, Mayers for Diouf, I'm in agreement with because Diouf weren't good. You know, almost immediately after we scored, Diouf swung a leg at a ball that was lobbed over the top. They almost scored straight away, and I was screaming at the TV to get Diouf off. So Diouf, I can understand taking him off, bringing Myers on. Diouf's going to be off to the AFCON soon anyway. He's not very good defensively, Diouf, is he? We know he's a good player. There's talent there, but for whatever reason, he's rattled to shit. He's not great at the moment. So it was good to see Mayers come in because obviously we'll have Mayers, Walker Peters, and we'll have Scholes when he's back from injury as well. We're going to need him because Aaron Wan-Bissaka's going to be off. So that's fine. But bringing Souček and Magassa on for two more offensive players in Fernandes and Paqueta, I was confused by that. I just don't know why we did that. I mean, what was the point in that? And I just thought, no. This is Brighton. Brighton are a team that have scored probably more late goals than anyone else. There was a stat that flashed up on the screen on the stream that I was watching, and apparently Brighton have had 38 goals with direct involvement from substitutes. So substitutes that manager makes have led to 38 goals this season, and they're up the top of the table when it comes to late goals. What they do is they pile on pressure. So what do you not want to do in that situation? Well, in the second half, they weren't bothering us at all. I don't think they had a shot on goal up until They had lots of shots, but nothing on target. Areola had nothing to do. But up until probably the 70th minute, 80th minute, something like that, they didn't even have a shot on target, I don't think. And then he goes back to the wall, and we just sit, and we go deeper, and we go deeper, and we invite him on, and we invite him on. We did exactly what Man United did to us when Amorim took off all of their attackers, put a load of defenders on with 10 minutes to go, and just tried to sit on that 1-0 win. We tried to do exactly the same thing, and ultimately we got fucked for it. That's what happened. Is it the goal? Obviously, a lot of people are contesting it because there was 2 incidents in there. So the chap that scored, it was a bit of a mad sort of ping pong ball in the box. There was an earlier action where the ball ricochets off of the guy's leg onto his hand, not his hand, his arm. Not intentional. If that had have led directly to a goal, that would have been disallowed. But by the rules of the game now, that's the only way that a handball that isn't considered intentional will rule a goal out, is if it's directly off the arm into the goal. If it's on an earlier move like it was, it's not a handball. You've seen them waved away all season. So that is not, by the rules of the game, you cannot like the rules, but the rules are the rules. And that's what everyone's playing by this year. That wasn't a handball. But what could have ruled the goal out was the Mavropanos, the overhead kick, which got more of Mavropanos' head than the ball. You know, Mavropanos, if he'd have gone down there rather than being brave, then that would have been ruled out. We probably wouldn't have got that far because it would have been a head injury. He could have gone down holding his head. But certainly if they'd have reviewed that, it would have been ruled out. Now, something similar happened, didn't it? If you go back to Thomas Souček in the last game where he had an opportunity to get a penalty. He didn't go down. Everyone's screaming, why don't you go down? And this is where we've got, I don't know, we've got this moral conundrum as West Ham fans. Well, I haven't. I would rather a player goes down, hits the fucking deck and screams and either gets something ruled out or wins us a free kick. But we scream at people like Paqueta for hitting the deck. That's the reason why you have to do it, because if you don't go down, the referee, and you just brush it off, the challenge, you're never going to get anything. So if Souček threw himself to the floor, Paqueta style, with that we'd have got a penalty. We could have won that game. That would have been 3 points. If poor old Mavropanos wasn't half as honest as what he is, I mean, he might have been concussed, and he'd have hit the floor screaming, holding his head, which is exactly what Paqueta would have done. He holds his head if he gets kicked on the toe, doesn't he? It would have been ruled out. We'd have had 6 more points. So it's a weird one. It is. It should have been. I think it should have been ruled out, personally, because I don't think you should have to go down. You should have to feign injury. You should have to sort of make the most of it. I think if you've got video replays anyway, what difference does it make whether a bloke is writhing in agony, screaming on the floor, or they're not? The foul was the foul. The reason you're kind of penalising someone is for the action, isn't it? But it doesn't feel like that now. It feels like the reason they're giving the free kick, the penalty, or whatever it is for the reaction of the player. And this is why players dive. So nice guys don't win. We need to start embracing and playing the dark arts, especially while we're down the bottom of the league. We do. Lucas Paqueta needs to be giving the rest of our players diving lessons. We've got to do whatever we can do to gain an advantage, because we're not helping ourselves. I thought the performance from the players in that game, much like the performance in the Man United game, 100% commitment. It was. But I'll say it again, that's the bare minimum that you should ever expect from a footballer. But we got that, and we got it in spades. That it was a really good, really gritty performance from the players. There wasn't really a bad performance on it. Even Guido didn't have a bad game. He didn't have a terrible game. Right, so everyone had a good game. But when you look at poor decisions against... Look, I'm going to go back to the last game against Man United. I've already said Man United took all of their forwards off, or most of them, brought on a load of defenders so that they could hold that game 1-0. We equalised. That's the point where you push on for the win. Man United had nothing left to give. They'd already made that decision, rolled the dice, changed their personnel to sit and hold a 1-0. It didn't work. We should have gone at them, but he didn't. Almost his immediate reaction was to go, shit, we've scored now, we've got a point, we're away at Man United, let's take off Wilson, let's put on Kilman. That's one mistake, because If we'd have showed anywhere near the type of intensity that we've seen from Leeds against Man City, Chelsea, and who they played last night, Liverpool, in the space of a week, if we'd have seen anywhere near half of the intensity that they've shown and guts to go after a game, we'd have got 3 points, maybe 6 out of those 2 games, the last 2 ones. And then look at Liverpool. Look at the way that we approached Liverpool. You know, Leeds went 2-0 down to Liverpool. They threw a load of attackers on, weren't having it, got back into the game. They ended up drawing. It was 2-0, 2-2. Liverpool went 3-2 up. They scored another one. They could have got a winner, but they got a point out of it. And the Chelsea game, they completely outplayed Chelsea. Too much intensity all over the pitch. Man City, they was unlucky. So the teams that we're going up against, we need to be braver, is what I'm saying. You know, this kind of, it's good to have a point. If you look at the results overall, you know, over the week, it's only Leeds that have really stung us. Everyone else, they've kind of stumbled. So Leeds are kind of stuck where they are. They played a brilliant game this evening, by the way, Leeds and Palace. Could have gone either way, but thankfully, it went Palace's way. So they're on 17 points, and we've got another point. We've got 2 more points from those games, but we've got Villa at home coming up next, and we've got City. Now, one thing that is clear to see, you can't deny it. You know, Brighton are a very good attacking team. They are, and as much as I loathe this style of football, and I can't stand it, if he plays the way that he's set up against Brighton in that first half, I don't think hardly anyone's going to score any goals against us. I don't think they will. So in that sense, I mean, it's be boring as fuck, but it's almost impossible to play through a brick wall. And that is how he set us up today. I'm expecting him to do the same when we're at home as well. I don't think you'll see much different there. We do have moments, so if we do turn over and we go on the attack now, you know, when Bowen and Somerville were playing the way that they were today, and Callum Wilson, you've got opportunities to hurt the opposition. You have. So this is the way that we're going to play. Do I think it's going to be enough? I don't. I really don't, because Nottingham Forest play the same way. They do. I just think we'll get found out. It happened under Moyes towards the end. He low blocked us shit. And in the end, we started getting batterings, 4-0, 5-0. Those game plans only work if you can keep it to 0-0 to half-time or till later in the game when you can actually go for it. And I think he took Brighton by surprise today by playing quite so deep and so unambitiously, which is what he did in the first half. You know, I think he almost forced their manager to have a rethink at half-time. But I suppose at the same time, you know, we had players on the bench so he could change it up, which he did. But the changes late in the game, once we pulled in front, once we got that goal, you can't sit on a 1-0 lead. You just can't. Not with 10 minutes to go when you've got injury time as well. So we were kind of begging for to be smacked on the arse again. And I don't understand it. The best form of attack is to keep the fucking ball down the other end of the pitch. Don't invite us on, even if we are getting better. But for me, yeah, that was my opinion of that game. I think, look, that's a better point than the point away at Man United. Because I think Brighton are better than Man U. Brighton are a better team than Man U. Man U are shit and were incredibly shit against us the other day. That was a really weak Man United team that we played as well. Where it weren't even anywhere near their strongest team that they could play this year. And they were poor. Brighton are a better team. So that was a good point away at Brighton. I never thought that we was going to get anything out of that. So again, it's another one, like with Bournemouth. If you'd have said to me, offered me a point before Bournemouth, I'd have took it. If you'd have offered me a point before Man U, I would probably have took that as well. If you'd have offered me a point once I'd seen that fucking lineup today before Brighton, I would have took it. So I suppose it's job done, but our point's going to be enough. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. We're not even on a point a game now. And this is definitely going to be one of those seasons where you're going to need a lot of points. 40 points is going to be the magic marker, maybe even marginally more. I think you're going to need more than that because everyone is beating everyone at the moment. We've seen that with Leeds, you know. Even, look, Burnley are terrible. They're only 3 points behind us. Burnley are terrible, but they're giving it a go. You know, when they played Newcastle, they was down to 10 men. It was 2-0. They got a goal back. It was 2-1. They're brave. They're gambling. They're going after the game. So I don't think we've got teams in this league that are going to curl up and die. And the teams like Burnley And like Leeds, if they're in touching distance, come January, don't think that they're not going to go out and strengthen. If they need a creator or they need a striker, there's going to be a lot of business done in January for a lot of teams that need reinforcements. It ain't just going to be us. So the fault that we could not go out and, I mean, we've got to go out and buy more than Traore. You know, I'm not going to get into player talk again after last night, but we're going to need a lot, in my opinion. We really are. You know, we're still only we're lucky, really. You know, we're a top player's injury away from catastrophe. I know we've had Somerville out, but look, this isn't a guy that scores and assists. He doesn't. You know, he's a pest. He gives us a little bit. He's a direct runner, so he gives you something different. But you know, if you was to lose Bowen for a stretch of games, well, that's a problem. So yeah, I thought. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I thought overall the point was good. I think it's another opportunity missed because we could have won that game quite easily. Even with the way that it played out, we could have won it because we could have nicked it at the end with Mavropanos' header. Really unlucky, you know, just flashed past the post. But I don't think tactically it's helping us. So we've had an opportunity today against Brighton to win the game and wrap it up. We've had an opportunity against Man United to go after the game when they just pulled all their defenders on and they was defending for their lives. We had an opportunity against a really shit Liverpool to do just what everyone else has done to them this year. We had an opportunity to beat Bournemouth when we was 2-0 up at half-time and completely shat ourselves. We had an opportunity to not put out such a stupid fucking team against Leeds and Brentford and get something out of those games. So in the short amount of time that Nuno's been here, there have been so many. It's almost half of these games, 50%, there's been catastrophic errors in them. A lot of errors. So yeah, for me, that's just my opinion. I think he's making too many mistakes. I think he's tweaking the fucking team too much. What on earth did he bring in Rodney for today? Why did he bring him in? Why did he bring Guido into midfield? You can't mean to tell me that Magassa or Potts need a break. They're young. They're fit as a fucking fiddle. They didn't need a break. What possible reason is there to drop either Magassa or Potts for Guido? That made no sense to me. So there's things that he does that I don't really get. But he has done a lot well. So defensively, we're definitely more solid. Tadebo's better. So Tadebo's definitely 10 times better than what he was. Areola's 10 times better than what he was. Mavropanos has been consistently decent anyway. Kilman's kind of out of the team now when we're playing a back four, which I'm happy with. He's not part of the primary pair. That is Mavro and Tadebo now. Wan-Bissaka's playing well. He's sorted the midfield out. We got James Ward-Prowse out. We got Souček out. We got Guido in the end, and we got Irving out. And we ended up with this young, dynamic group of midfielders that we've had all season that we've only just started to see playing together. So you got Magassa, you got Fernandes, you got Potts. Brilliant. So he started to use them. He finally started playing Wilson up front as well. Deservedly. He didn't want to play him up front initially, did he? So look, there are positives. I've said it before. Individually, there's certain players. There's positives and there's I wouldn't say there's green shoots of improvement. But do I think it's enough? Am I seeing enough to say we're going to push on, we're going to be all right? I'm not. I think we're improving, but from a really fucking low point. I mean, we were so bad. And yes, we're definitely improving, but I'm worried what's going to happen when we have our next wobble, because this is us doing brilliant at the moment and we're struggling to pick up points. We're going to have a wobble again. We're going to lose a player. Something is going to happen. We're going to start, how are we going to deal with that recovery? It's almost like Nuno looked completely kind of defeated after that game today. He looked frustrated, and I can understand it. He knows himself. This ain't looking good. Coming up next, we've got Aston Villa at home. If anyone watched them at the weekend, fuck that. They're not, they can play us at our own game. Aston Villa can. They're more than capable of playing a low block counter-attack and doing the same sort of thing. The difference is they can change it up in mid-game, which is what they did against Brighton when they was losing and they brought it back and then they went and won it. So they can do a bit of everything. Aston Villa can, and they're bang on form at the moment. I think they're the most informed team in the top half of the table. Now, if we was away at Villa, I'd have more confidence because I don't think that it's an advantage being at home. I think it's a massive disadvantage being at home. I think we're better away from home. So we're playing them at the London Stadium, which is a bit of a concern for me. We're playing them next. Then we're going to play City. And anyone that's been watching them at the moment, fuck that. Sit back against them at your peril. I mean, just sit back and try and block them. They will carve us open with the likes of Cherky and Foden and all these other fucking players that they've got. They're not going to have any issue cutting through our roadblock. They will get through it. You've got to be offering more. You've got to be asking the opposition questions. So that's going to be that. That's going to be 2 more games. That takes us up to 17 games. And I don't think we're going to be on any more points. I think we're going to be on 13 points from 17 games. I don't think we get anything out of Villa. We don't get anything out of City. So we'll have 13 points from 17 games. Following that, you've got Fulham at home. It's another worry. I mean, Fulham are not Man City. They're not. So we could hit them on a counter-attack because Fulham are the type of team that will come at us and they'll play into our hands. Or will they? Because it's a 6-pointer effectively. Will they go, well, no, you lot need to beat us. You're at home. You bring the game to us. Because it would probably be a little bit naive for Fulham to just pour at West Ham, do what we want them to do so that we can just hit them on a counter-attack. If I was Fulham, I would just sit back, bring a deck chair and stick it in my own fucking 18-yard box and say, now come on, bring the ball. Bring the game to us. Don't just sit back, with fucking 10 of your players. So tactically, we could see something a little bit different. But I worry about Fulham at home as well. Could we beat them? Yes. I don't think we will. And I'm not saying we'll lose. I can see that one being a draw. And then we've got Brighton. Well, we've just played Brighton. We're at home this time. I don't know. So how many points are we going to be on after 19 games, which is the halfway mark? I don't know. I really don't. In terms of my man of the match today, I'm probably going to give that. Fernandes was fantastic, right? He was brilliant. Bowen was brilliant in the second half as well. But my man of the match, I'm actually going to give it to Wilson. Because I think Wilson completely changed it when he came on. Wilson, it was like the difference between Somerville and Wilson was night and day. I'm sorry. He was playing with purpose. He was fighting the centre-backs. Good, intelligent movement. His use of the ball was fantastic. He set up that goal. Could have had another one as well. I think he was brilliant. So my man of the match in what was a bit of a fucking dull affair today, apart from the fact we had a 30-minute stint, we did have 30 minutes of respite. So in 3 games, in 3 lots of 90 minutes, we've had 30 minutes of football that I find acceptable. That's literally it. But what I find acceptable, it's not all me. You're different. You might be pleased watching that absolute shit that we had to watch in the first half, or against Liverpool, or against. Maybe you're happy with that. I don't know. I'm not. Especially when you can draw direct comparisons with the likes of Leeds, who we're having to watch play at the moment. Where's my mouse gone? I've lost my mouse. Especially when you're drawing direct comparisons with teams as well. I find it very frustrating, if I'm perfectly honest. But look, now is the time. Let me just double check and make sure that people can phone in. Right, 1 minute. Is that going to work?
Welcome to EE.
There you go. Welcome to EE. Right, so if anyone does want to phone in on the mobile phone now, and we'll have a little chat about the game, chat about West Ham, chat about whatever you want. All right? I have got a few super chats that I'm going to go through as well. So we've got Daniel Cramper. Thank you very much, mate. Very kind of you. And the super Rob Nathan sings. Diouf is younger than Potts and Magassa. Didn't need a rest, did he? No, well, exactly that. The team selection didn't really make much sense to me. I can understand going to a back 3 if that's what you wanted to. I can understand it. And probably Diouf is more suited to that style as well. But I don't know. I found it a little bit. Fucking bizarre, really. And the second half, and I'm fed up with us shooting ourselves in the foot. You can't. I know that we can contest the goal. We can say it was either a handball or Mavro. He got kicked in the head. I know that, but we was inviting it on. We was literally inviting the opposition to come and have a go at us. So you kind of feel like if it wasn't then, it would probably been the next attack. It was coming. It felt like the goal was coming to me. Carrell, how are you? Oh, why ain't that working? Hang on, mate. Hello, Carrell. Carrell.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. How are you, Nick?
I'm good, mate.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the decision at the end. I think that it shouldn't have been allowed, whether it was for the handball or for the bicycle kick. But either way, I agree with what you've said, that the first half was poor and not direct enough. I think that this point is a better one than Man U for the fact that we played better. I don't think we deserved to draw. I think we did deserve to win.
Yeah.
We created better chances in this game than we did in the Man United game at all. I mean, Somerville had that chance in the first half, and then obviously the double save. I think Wilson's chance was a good one, although he could have squared it to Bowen. But Wilson made a huge impact. I think the performance overall was much improved. I know the general consensus is that those three subs made us sit back too much. I do kind of understand the logic by bringing them on. I think Diouf was poor against Man U and he was getting worse in this game. I would have brought Walker-Peters for that instead of that young kid, although it's nice for him to get, minutes under his belt, but I would have brought Walker-Peters because I think Diouf was getting a little bit more found out. Like you said, the improvement is there. We wasted the Liverpool game. Man U game didn't really do much except for 25, 30 minutes. Didn't go at them to punish them after they sat back. Today, I think, was the better performance out of those three games that we've had. But is it enough? No, I agree with you. It could be, a matter of, the improvements are there, but they're too incremental. And games are, while not running out.
Look. One second. Look, this drives me absolutely fucking mad. Look, and Reg, I'm not calling you out, mate, but this is a mentality of so many. I didn't even want to talk about Paqueta today. I was half hoping they was going to dump him because I thought we was going to get pumped today. And I thought the first thing that was going to happen was the Wolves were going to go after Paqueta for it. Oh, we've lost because Paqueta's in the team. Now, Reg Stretches says, we don't sit back. He says, we don't sit back like at the end of Moyes. We knock it about, but we create nothing with Paqueta in that midfield. It's almost like tactically, when you're sat that deep, there is such a massive disconnect between the attack and the defence, isn't there, and the midfield. How can you blame one player? What do you want one player to do in that situation?
Well, yeah, I mean, one player in a deep lying team is not going to have as much impact as they would if the team was further up the field.
No.
I didn't want Paqueta to play today because of last week.
I didn't.
However, was he great? No.
He done a job.
He
done a job
make
today.
a couple of, he was like a 6 out of 10, like my brother said. He was a 6 out of 10. If he focused more on his game last week against Liverpool, as he did today, without the whinging, without the moaning, without the diving, without the theatrics, without the complaining, he didn't moan once today.
No, his attitude was bang on. It was a more selfless performance from
he was at fault.
Him. Yeah. Oh no,
I think he realised what he did.
Look, he will have seen the backlash. He got fucking hammered by everyone on social media, and he does monitor that. Yeah,
and rightly so. I'm not sure. I mean, Villa was good yesterday, and I did watch that whole game. I'm glad they won because I detest Arsenal. But are they beatable? Yes.
It was
good.
They are. Just very quickly, that was good. That was fun to watch, wasn't it? I was actually getting my hair cut watching that in my barber's chair when that goal went in. It was brilliant.
You when that last goal, when the final goal went in, they deserved it. To be honest with you,
they did.
They did deserve it. I can't stand them. But are Villa beatable? Yes. Are they a good team? They're a very good team. They're very well organised. They've got a manager that reacts positively. He brought on 2 attacking players with only minutes to go, and one of them ultimately scored the winning goal. So they are going to be a very, very tough proposition. The best team that we've played in the last 4 weeks, for sure. But if we go in scared, then we're going to lose big. The fact that we're at home, like you said, is a disadvantage, but we can't fear anyone anymore. And I know, I think Lawless said it on Fan TV, if we go into games thinking, we're going to lose, you're going to get smashed before you've even had a chance. Now, we can give them a game next week. And if we are disciplined and we're a bit more clinical up front, and he doesn't piss around with the midfield. I can't stand Rodriguez. I have no idea, like anyone, why he played today. That said, he didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. Do you not think? Do you not think that Fernandes was having to double up on what he was doubling up on his workload because he was covering for him?
Yeah, I have to give credit where it's due. I've never really been a fan of Fernandes. I don't think he's crap. I just don't really see enough from him. I know he was okay today. He was actually quite good today.
Do you know why I think this is though? Because I think you're judging him based on what you said before, and I think you're right. I think you're judging him on his ability in a 10 position. I don't think he's a good 10.
Yes.
He's not creative enough. But
no, he's not. But
what he's done is he's embraced that deeper position, the 8, and he's doing really well with it. He's doing really well in that position.
He has, and he did against Newcastle as well. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was I think it was the right thing to take him off. The only problem is bringing on Souček. You're accepting that you're going to sit back. I think he was feeling a bit leaky.
What does that do at that point? Taking off. Now, I can understand bringing Magasser on, fine. We saw what he could do last game. But taking off Paqueta and Fernandes for Souček and Magasser, I can understand bringing Magasser on. What is Souček bringing to the table in that situation?
Nothing. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have taken off Paqueta and Fernandes. I would have taken off one of them. I wouldn't have taken off both.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have taken off both. And as much as I detest him, just for the sake of having another player higher up the field, I would have brought Fulkrug because at least he holds the ball. Now, I know his attitude stinks from here to hell. However,
what did you think of my man? What did you think of my man in the match, by the way, Carrell? Just very quickly.
To be honest with you, there is some reasoning to it because
I thought he made the difference. I thought he made the difference when he came on.
Yeah, I think that I'm pleasantly surprised by Todibo, and I've slated him rightly so up until the last 5-7 games. I think he's been absolutely brilliant, and I don't know what Nuno said to him, but he's covering so much more ground. He's putting in tackles and interceptions that he never did in countless games prior. So good on. I do understand your reasoning because he used his experience and he did influence the game. There is logic. I would say also Todibo could have been given man of the match. Areola didn't have that much to do, but what he did well. I think Wan-Bissaka was good again, although against Man United, he looked like he was possessed. So I think there are a few names that you could have said today. But, yeah, I mean, the only reason I maybe wouldn't give to Wilson is because he played fewer minutes,
Do you know why that is, though, for me? Is because... Look, I'm the wrong type of person to analyse this type of football because I don't fucking enjoy it. I really don't. And I acknowledge that there is 100% absolute commitment in those players and they were really giving everything and putting their bodies on the line.
They were.
And I do get it. But the type of football, I can't connect with it, mate. I struggle.
No, neither can I.
I'm sitting there watching it going, mate, fucking hell.
No, I think a lot of people, and especially the older West Ham fans, that appreciate more attacking style. But as I said a couple of weeks ago when I was on your show, there are some games that we will need to scumbag wins. Today, we actually played all right in the second half. I think both teams were feeling one another out in the first half, and I think maybe the fatigue for both teams overall playing 3 or so was a little bit there. But then the game opened up, and the surface helped both teams to attack. The ball was a little bit more skiddy, and the tempo was a little bit faster. Somerville coming added some pace to our team as well.
Just very quickly, Carrell. Look, Boleyn Lounge. Yes. Listen, right? I can understand it. Fernandes gets overlooked for man of the match for Wilson. Are you sure? Listen, I just said he's my man of the match. I'm not official. I'm not BBC. I'm not Sky Sports, right? It's just my opinion.
You wish you were.
I wish I was, but I'm not, right? Yeah. So you can have your man of the match. I'm telling you what my man of the match was. Right?
No, okay. I mean I agree with the Boleyn.
He was good for the whole game.
He was very good, and this is coming from me that doesn't. I mean, I don't have anything against him, but I'm not his biggest fan. But fair is fair. He was very good today.
Yeah.
Do I think we can get something from Sunday? Yes, but everyone needs to up the game, and Nuno needs to stop being so timid and scared. Do I think we'll lose at City? Yes. Do I think we can beat Fulham? Yes. They weren't all that against you score the first goal against Fulham, then you've got a very good chance. If you concede early, they'll sit back and hit you on the break, just like they did to Tottenham. They scored 2 early goals there. They controlled that game, and even though the game finished 2-1, it was a lot more comfortable than that score would suggest. We need wins desperately. Everybody knows this. We still have some time, but as we all know, after this Villa and City game, the next 4 games are absolutely humongous. Now, we're going to be suffering with Wan-Bissaka going, not so much from Diop, to be honest with you. I think that's a blessing in disguise. However, we need to bring players in at the beginning of the transfer window, offload any deadwood that we've got in the squad, and we need to focus those 4 games, which is Wolves, Brighton, Forest, and the Fulham game. Those 4 games, not in that order, I know, are absolutely humongous, and we do need to get 10 points out of 12 in those games. The gap can be closed. We are not playing badly, but we're not getting wins. Leeds yesterday totally deserved their draw, and the 3 games that they've had in the week are a lot harder than ours.
Just very quickly, mate, Debbie Gander, who is a Brighton fan who was at the game today, she said Nuno got your tactics spot on, and he stopped us playing, which he did. That was undoubtedly he did. I think he would have stopped anyone. I think he would have stopped anyone playing today with those.
And if you look at their goal, it was under contentious circumstances.
Hang on. Right, she says after the goal, we were there for the taking, but you backed off us. 0 shots in 90 minutes, but 4 in added time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if it was 4, to be honest with you, but if it is 4, then that's unforgivable.
It's fucking stupid, isn't it? It is stupid. I mean, you just and the thing is, that is what you can say. It's down to the players. You know, you can say, well, Nuno's waving the players up, but Carrell, you know yourself, if you make defensive-minded substitutions, what impact does that have on the team itself?
Yeah, well,
it drives them back.
You're putting more pressure on them.
It drives them back.
Pressure on them. But I mean, I wish a lot of these games were away, because the away mob today were fantastic. They were absolutely brilliant.
Right, I was going to say that as well.
Billy Bonds' kind of army throughout. I think that's absolutely brilliant on their behalf.
Absolutely.
And long may it continue.
Richard,
good luck to all of them that went down.
Richard Dodds did say how great the away fans have been in the last month in particular.
Were top notch. That's the only voice you could hear.
Oh, it was brilliant. You could and like I said, the whole way through. And you know what? The limbs when Bowen scored as well. It was it was good to see. It really was.
They were absolutely excellent. And hopefully these away fans will pull the team through the remaining away games, because we are much stronger away, and the fans away have always been top class, and I think we've got the best fans in the league anyway. This is my ongoing battle from Red Stretch, who mentioned the thing about Paqueta earlier on. Nick, you blame everything on tactics, but never the personnel. Well, Red Stretch, you blame everything on one member of the fucking team, even when he's not on the pitch, and never the tactics. Do you think Paqueta will leave in January, Nick?
I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. I don't think unless we can afford to get because look, at the end of the day, we've seen it. Let's have it straight. Paqueta's really turned up in 2 games this year. So he's got 6 of our 13 points. Nottingham Forest, he was fantastic. And Newcastle, he was fantastic. So that's 2 games where he's got 6 points. Now these players, if you've got your top players, if they do turn up 5, 6, 7 times a season, even if it's in the second part of the season, it ain't every game, that can be the difference between you staying up or fucking going down. I'd rather have someone that's got the ability to do something than not have them. Would you not?
Same. I would as well. And I think it's too risky when we need to get a couple of players in the door anyway, to sell him now, I think would be a big risk, because the likelihood of you buying someone that hits the ground running immediately is very slim. He does need to up his game. His statistics are really bad as far as assists and goals are concerned. However, I agree. I would keep him to the end of the season and just say to him, look, we'll let you go on your merry way, but you got to give 100% every week. Shut up with all of the theatrics and all the arguing and bickering and everything else. You play for the team, because we're in a dog scrap and we need to pull together. And I just seen Iron72's comment on the screen. I don't know if there's a couple of second time lag. I agree. Nuno's cost us too many points. 3 against Leeds, possibly 3 against Brentford, possibly 3 against Liverpool, possibly 2 today. A little bit unlucky with the decision, I think. 2 against Man United. You add these points up, that's a lot, and that could have put us in a much healthier position. But we've got to focus on the games in front of us. We can't dwindled. Do I have the confidence that Nuno will go out a bit more proactively in forthcoming games? Not really. I think he's going to do much of the same, and it will all depend on how clinical we are with the chances that we get. So if Somerville's one went in, and that's a lot to expect. So, the chances we had today, if those went in, the game would have been 3-0, minute 75, game over. But we're not putting those away. And that's what I fear. He's going to be banking on, they didn't work out today, but in future games, Wilson scores that 20-yard shot, or Somerville curls it into the corner, or Bowen gets another one. He'll be banking on that. He won't. I don't think he'll change. I hope I'm wrong, but I just got fears that he will keep persisting. Whether he starts Rodriguez or not, it doesn't make a difference. The principles that he's portraying to the players before a game, I don't think they're going to change too much. Liverpool was the worst Liverpool team in a decade, and we didn't even ruffle them up at all. We didn't. So that's what makes me a little bit doubtful. I think come the end of that 4-game period, we'll have a clearer idea as to where we are. Then you've got the FA Cup game and obviously the transfer window. We'll know where we are mid-Jan. Yeah. I think it's a little premature now.
Just very, very quickly. Reg, Stretch, I love you, mate. I do. But there's a lot of people in the chat. It ain't all about you, mate. All right? I've put a couple of your comments up on the screen and I've answered you. But, just behave or I'll get a mod to put you on the fucking naughty step. All right, Reg? Calm down. Right, sorry, Carrell.
I don't know. I don't know what you're on about, but that's okay. Look, I won't keep you from other calls. Enjoy the rest of your show. Your hair's looking nice and neat, Nick. The hairline's receding a bit more than mine, and I've got 5-10 years on you, so that's good. That's good to see.
Oh no!
Too much hairspray, Nick. Too much hairspray.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, you got too much hairspray. You're burning your hairline.
He's going back. Look, I don't use fucking hairspray. That's natural. I'll get out of bed like that.
I don't know. Put some coconut oil or serum on there, or argan oil, something soft. All right. Much love to you and to all the boozers.
Cheers, Carrell. See you later, mate.
Laters. Bye.
Laters, potatoes. Right. Okay. Yes, it was a yellow card. Calm yourself down, Ridge. Come on. Play the game. Right, 1 minute. Hello, is that Alan? No, it wasn't. Oh, it's Cat. Hello, is that Cat?
It is.
How you doing? You're right.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I know. People saying things about me again.
Are they? Who's saying things about you?
Oh, I don't know, but I can't see the chat. So it's only when I get off of talking that I go back and look at the comments, and I read things like verbal radox, and I bet Kat doesn't swear and things like that, which amuses me.
I bet you do swear, just not live on air.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, the games I do, of course. I mean, it's West Ham. You can't not.
No. Exactly. So I saw your comment earlier on in response to Dodsy's as well, and I must admit that is a good point, right? With all the crap that we've been having to put up with, although largely the away games are better, although the Man United game was very dull, but the away fans are consistently fucking brilliant. Consistently.
Oh my God, they were everything today.
They're
I was there too, so we were everything today. It was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, was you there?
The best day.
Was you there today?
Yeah. Just got home.
There you go. See?
Yeah. Oh, it was fantastic. It was fun. See, I'm saying it's fantastic, but then it is, and it was, and it wasn't. The second half was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was. There were parts of it that were so exciting.
There was moments in the game, like when first half Somerville goes through, should score, shouldn't he? He should score that, and then
bless him.
And then second half you've got Bowen's shot, which is saved with Somerville's kind of acrobatic volley as well, which gets saved. So look, there were moments, and look, there was also that chance at the end of the game as well, Mavropanos with a header, which just flashed past the post. So we had a couple of really good chances today. On another day, it could have been a different story.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, we were chanting the whole time, Claret Blue Army and all of that. Can you still hear me? Okay.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. We were singing Billy Bonds like the whole way through. There were new songs. There was a Christmas song I haven't heard before, and all sorts. It was brilliant. But the train station, we were singing at the train station, and again, that's something I haven't experienced in a long time.
Just very one second, Kat. I need to address something right now. Look, there is a difference, okay, from someone that goes to quite a lot of away games. There is a difference between being in that away crowd and watching the game on telly. There really fucking is. You have a great day. Yeah. When you go to an away game, you have a brilliant fucking day. It's amazing. You're literally part of like a little army that's marched into someone else's turf, and there's all that togetherness and camaraderie, and it's different. The crowd that you get. So you will almost always have a good day. I went away to Liverpool where we got pumped 5-0. I went twice last year. We got pumped by 5 goals, and it was still a good fucking away day. So it's very difficult to get a balanced opinion on the actual game of football from someone that's been at the game, or an away day, I'm saying, because you've had such a fucking good day.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Thank you. Has somebody told me off for saying I had a good time?
No, because I'll get it. It was because watching it on TV, it was a hard watch. It was tough.
Oh, okay.
It was a tough watch.
Right.
But there were moments.
I must admit, amazing.
But I'm with you. That sort of 30-minute spell in the second half, when we because I was contemplating not watching the second half. I thought, no, I can't be doing this. My son went out. He went and played football. He sacked it off, and I thought I might do the same. Not go and play football, but I might do something different. I didn't. I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did because it was completely different. Yeah. We came out with a completely different mentality, further up the pitch, causing them problems, and it was better for half an hour. We had half an hour's respite from the misery of shit football. We did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the thing. I mean, Nuno's tactics, it's very mixed, isn't it? His player management, I think, is fantastic, but his tactics leave a little to be desired.
Yeah. Well, like I say, there's a lot of positives with him, and I've addressed them all before. Even when I criticised him, I've said, you can look at Areola, you can look at Todibo, you can look at the players individually that he's developing. You can even say definitively now he's improving the defence. We're getting stronger. Although, look, it's not a masterclass to sit. It's not a masterclass to sit 8 players in front of your box. In terms of being that compact and that deep. You're going to make it difficult for anyone to get through. You are. But we were organised. All the players themselves were doing their jobs individually. There was no confusion, so they're well organised. But I don't know. I just think it's easy. I think it's lazy. I think sitting in, asking the other team to play football, and then just waiting to sucker punch and catch them on the counter. I just feel like it's so lazy. I really do.
I don't think we're even doing that. I know you were saying earlier about the counter attack, but just watching it today, we don't really have a counter attack. We're too slow.
We did with Jimmy.
So I'm not even seeing.
We did with Jimmy in the first half.
Jimmy's brilliant. We have moments, but I mean, we need to catch them on the counter every single time, and we're just half the time we're too slow. So we don't have counter attack football because we don't have enough players to be able to play that.
No.
No.
And
that's why we're not. That's why we're not winning enough games.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to win a lot of games doing that, Kat. I really don't.
No.
I mean,
it's not my kind of football.
But Sean Dyche has got the perfect team for it, and they're struggling like shit, aren't they? Really, let's face it. He's got the perfect defence. He's got the perfect counter attack. He's got the perfect midfield. He plays that. He plays deep and then counter attacking football. It ain't working. I think you've got to. You'll have periods in game. I'll tell you, if you get good at it. If you become good at counter-attacking football and every week you're basically committing a fucking robbery on who you're playing against, then what happens is the opposition start giving you more respect. The second they give you more respect and they start sitting off of you and saying, no, you can come at us. The second that happens, you're screwed.
Which is why we're crap at home, right? Well, part of it anyway, aside from the atmosphere, the lack of atmosphere. So that is a problem. Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about this season. Leeds and Nottingham Forest are only 2 points ahead of us, but we have Villa and City next. And I'm worried. I think we're just going to be sort of up and down, just inching forward and then inching backwards again.
Well, we're not up and down. We're flatlining. So these points that we're getting,
that's what I see though.
We're far better off having 2 points that we've just earned as opposed to having none. But ultimately, it's done nothing for us. We're still 3 points away from safety.
It's stressful because you have to watch all the Leeds games and all the Forest games and pray that they lose, and they're not.
If you look at the way that, if you watch Fulham today, which you probably didn't because you would have been on the road, but if you watch Fulham, for instance, you know, when I think they played Man City in the second half when they came back and almost it was 5-4 in the end. If you watch Fulham and you watch Leeds, you look at them two teams and you think we ain't getting more points than them. We're not.
No,
over the course of the second part of the season, we're not getting more points than them.
I know. I'm really worried.
Nottingham Forest could be our saviour because they appear to be settling back into being just as shit as what they was before Dyche went there, which is nice. You know, they're in touching distance. We're 2 points off of 2 points. Are we 2 points or 3 points off of? No, it's 2 points I think off of Nottingham Forest. So
yeah, 2 behind both of them.
Yeah. So, but I think you'll see Leeds and Fulham will comfortably pull clear. What you might see as the season progresses, because Brentford are on 19 points. Brentford are another team that are kind of look. I just feel like this. I feel like low block football is bottom half, low rent, dog shit football that will get the odd win. But I just feel like there's more teams that are playing a different brand now. I think that they will pull clear, and the only advantage is that there's a lot of teams that are doing what we're doing. So maybe we'll just become one of the better ones at it. You know, we'll be maybe at the end of the season, we might be a little bit better than Brentford at being a shithouse team, a little bit better than Nottingham Forest. I don't know. It just fills me with dread, if I'm honest, because I know for a fact that 2 things are going to happen this year. We're either going to survive, which we all want. We all want to survive, but that secures another season or 2 seasons of the same style of football, or we're going to get relegated. Yeah, or we're going to get relegated, and it's going to be probably even more painful if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I struggle to see any. Because I was saying to Carrell earlier on. Well, I was struggling. Like I was saying to Carrell earlier on. I think probably the worst person to review this style of football. I am, because I really hate it. I really do. Yeah,
but we need your perspective.
Yeah, I just hate it. You know, and I know that there's. I know that there's logic to it, and I understand it. It's like if you're watching boxing, you may not watch boxing, but there's certain people out there that will like the more technical fighters, you know, like your Floyd Mayweathers or your Terence Crawfords, players who they're an expert at running away, slipping punches, hardly take any damage at all, and they counter punch, and they're just boring fucking fights. If I choose to go to watch a fight, I want to see 2 blokes knocking shit out of each other. I want to see an actual fight because it's more entertaining. So that's my mentality. I want to watch a game of football. I don't want to watch a game of chess.
Yeah, I agree. Because that's what we grew up with.
I know.
That's like 90s football. We were spoiled.
Yeah.
And we don't have that anymore, and it's so hard.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And we all miss it, and we all want it back, and we want the owners out. And I wish I knew what the answer was. It's going to be a really tricky season.
It is, but I mean, look, I suppose you can take some gems out of this season, though. You can. And I can always do this better retrospectively than I can when I'm in the moment watching the game. But if you look at the likes of Freddie Potts, we've brought, I think, what is going to be our next talisman through. So this season is the season that Freddie Potts has landed. That's important. There may be some more. We saw Ezra Mayer's got a few minutes at the end of the game today. He's going to get some opportunities when Diouf is away at AFCON. That's going to happen. And
it's
Scholes.
Brilliant that Nuno is bringing the academy through.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. There are tick boxes. There are. Yeah. With all the frustrations, it isn't like with Potter and Lopetegui where there was nothing. You got to the end of the game and there was nothing positive that you could find from what you just watched or what they were doing or what they were saying. With Nuno, there are. So there are. It's just that I just hate your style of football, and that's just me being petulant. And I know it's not all about me. It's not. But it's a personal choice.
Yeah, but a lot of us feel that way, Nick.
I know.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be listening.
I know.
We would have turned you off. We would have turned over the other channel.
I know. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe one day one of these managers can kind of maybe it's like an acquired taste. Do you know, like with when you're 18 and you don't like beer, but you keep on forcing it down until eventually you like beer. Maybe it's like that. Maybe I've just got to keep on force feeding myself defensive, dour, boring football, and eventually I'll start appreciating the intricacies of defensive, dour football. I don't know. I mean, it's been
Well, the rule is that you will. That's how it works with food, apparently.
Yeah, so maybe it will, and I'll start, looking at defensive stats and things like that, and really appreciating it, which I don't at the moment.
Oh, yay!
But anyway, Kat, it was lovely talking to you as ever.
Look forward to that show.
Yeah, yeah, lovely talking to you as ever.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Take care, everyone. Up
See
the
you later on.
hammers.
Up the hammers.
Bye.
Bye. Next, who wants to come on next? Gary ain't phoned in yet. What's this one? Hang on. Right, I think I've had this from a lot of people. Alec Bassendale has said that they've stopped getting notifications from people from YouTube live. I don't know why that is. I don't know. All I do is I schedule a show to go live, and that's YouTube that's in control of that. So I'm not sure. Right, Alan, I'll see if this works again, mate. 1 minute. Alan? Hello? Alan? I'll tell you what, I'll phone you on the phone. Be easier. Hang on. I'm getting really warm in here. Was that cat that took the temperature levels up? Oh, here we go. Alan, I will phone you, mate. I think that's the Alan anyway. Because all it says is Alan on the device. Gary! Hello? Gary?
Hello, Nick.
Hello, mate. You're right. I'm going to have to open the window, mate. I'm boiling up here. Fucking hell. Oh, maybe if I turn my heater off. Jesus Christ. I've got a storage heater against me legs. You're right, go on, mate.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. You?
I'll be listening very intently to all the conversation tonight.
Good.
Yeah.
I bet you're loving the football, weren't you?
No, I was screaming at the TV the last 15, 20. Look, Nick, try to bring a bit of balance to it. Okay, so obviously we're in a relegation scrap, so obviously we've got to get out of this first of all. With Nuno, I'm very, very mixed with him at the moment. I mean, he's got some very good points. I mean, he's got Areola, Tadibo playing much better. He's getting a tune out of players, he's also bringing a lot of kids through as well, which is good.
Sorry, mate. Pete Chelmsford said that. Hang on, Gary. Pete Chelmsford just said that Kat should make a flake advert with her voice.
Oh, she has got a lovely voice, hasn't she? Yeah, I said that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got some very good points. He's bringing the kids through. It's really good. You think the last few weeks how many youth players he's bringing through in a relegation scrap? A lot of managers wouldn't do that, but he has. The annoying part about Nuno is some of his decision making. I mean,
mate, it's pretty much for me. It's pretty much all of his in-game it's anything around the football side of it. I think his personnel. I think his personnel selection seems, apart from today, it was weird bringing Guido in. But I don't know. It's like he's doing well with players, but he's in-game management. And when you do listen to Forest fans, that was a big criticism from them, even right up until the end. They said his in-game management is fucked.
Yeah, we're seeing it, Nick. I do wonder, whether because he hasn't got all his, like when he was at Irving there, to sort of fall back on and get advice. And I wonder whether he's missing that a little bit, because like today, he bought Potts and Magasson, which I was actually screaming for, and Wilson, changed the game. But then I don't understand this Suchek playing wide. I don't know what that's about. And the left back, Myers, maybe. I mean, but the thing is, it's costing us points, because you could see what's going to happen. I was watching a couple of other channels before you come on, West Ham Fan TV, Hammers Chat, and we was all seeing the same thing. You could see we're getting deeper and deeper, and I'm screaming at the TV, get up.
He's changes.
Going to Brighton, they've got a very good record at home.
They've got a very good record, but they've got a very good record at home, Gary. But the fact of the matter is, when you make defensive changes and you take off Fernandes and Paqueta for Souček and Magassa, then what that does is that immediately, just those changes alone, sends your team into regression, and it invites the opposition to attack you. So it isn't the players getting deeper and deeper. That's by design. He may not have designed it that way. Maybe he doesn't get it. I don't know.
That Brighton fan, she got it bang on, actually.
Yeah.
So we was really restricting them. Second half we were looking very good going forward at times, But then we just started to get back, he starts to panic. I mean, obviously, wins are everything at the moment. But listen, people saying about we're 2 points. We're 2 points adrift, and we're in early December. There's still a lot of games to go. It can all change, Leeds are at a purple patch at the moment. They've suddenly gone very direct and they're scoring goals. But it's going to be a scrap for the rest of the season, really. But we are playing spells. We are playing some good stuff in spells.
There's no guarantee we're going to go down. But for me, you've got to be showing. I mean, look, the good thing is the players are showing fight. So we're seeing fight in the players. That's good. So what we need now is what we need now is the man. No, the difference is the manager. The players are not the problem. Whatever players he puts in at the moment, they're doing a job. So
they are, yeah.
So therefore,
it wasn't under Potter and the other manager.
They weren't. So therefore, it comes down to tactics. So what we now need is a manager that's going to set. Look at the difference between Leeds when they go 2-0 down to Liverpool versus West Ham when we go 2-0 down to Liverpool. The difference is we go, oh shit, we don't want to get battered. Let's just contain this job now. We don't want to get beat too much. Leeds go, no, fuck that. Throw on a load of attackers and go after the game. So that and that's the thing. That's what we're up against this year. In previous seasons, right? Just very quickly, in previous seasons, the only reason we've been kept in this league as long as we are now, when you look at the past 3 years, like the season with the Conference League as well, when we won that. The only reason is because the bottom three have been so uncharacteristically, but they've been so uncharacteristically shit. And this season, that is not the case. Even Burnley, who are only 3 points behind us, Burnley were down to 10 men. They was 2-0 down to Newcastle. They got a goal back. They played good football. They played us off the park in the first half when we played them. So Burnley are not shit. And in January, if they're in touching distance, they'll go out and buy more players. If they think they're in with a chance of staying up. So everyone's in the same fucking boat, mate. And if you're down there at the moment this season, I'm telling you, this year you'll need 40 points to stay up.
Yeah, there's going to be a team that's going to, looking at it, everyone thinks Wolves are down. Well, they are. Burnley maybe will go. And it's us or Leeds. I don't totally agree with that. I think Forest doing it. I think the likes of Fulham and Fulham and Brentford away from, they don't pick any points up on the road, really. And they could get dragged. I mean, look at Bournemouth. They've gone from 2nd to 14th yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
But, you know what it might be yesterday?
Bournemouth ain't getting relegated, Gary.
You're not reminding me the game, that last 15, 10 minutes when we suddenly went deeper and deeper. It reminded me of the Bournemouth game in the second half.
Yeah.
He's got the lead and he starts to panic and he just wants to... you can see he wants to get the 3 points. And like someone said earlier, we're all talking about the games in hindsight. If we'd have been 1-0 up and we're going home, we got done 2-1, we'd be saying, why did you leave the back door open? We're inviting pressure. But there is a middle ground there, and I think I don't know why. I think with West Ham at the moment, you need someone in that team that can physically set the players, verbally get up the pitch, because they're just sitting deeper and deeper, and you can see the goal coming, couldn't you?
You can't. You don't need to. Nuno's going to put that. Not going to put that. Nuno's setting us up to sit deep.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
But the thing is, when we do go forward, we look good at times. That's the thing about it. You can't play.
For moments in a game, as Kat said, you probably could. You could probably put. I mean, look. Yes, I've heard people say, "Well, we look better than Brighton." Look, I'm not being funny, right? If any neutral tuned into that game today, you'd turn it off after 30 minutes. It was the most dire fucking example of football you will ever see. To have one team completely park a bus and kill any semblance of football being played. It was so low intensity. I watched the Fulham Crystal Palace game afterwards. That was two teams. It was like twice the speed. It was like, if you watch that game, it was like watching West Ham Brighton, but on twice fast forward. It was twice the speed because you had two teams going at each other. What we did was we sat deep, we weren't pressing, and Brighton just had the ball and they were trying to probe and find a way through. It was played at like a fucking training ground pace. It was so poor.
Maybe
poor. Honest to watch.
When you're going away to some of these teams, though, maybe in the first half you just want to keep it tight, and in the second half you try to win the game, which we could have done. We didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't get also. Magassa got man of the match the other night. I thought Wan-Bissaka was equally as good. But and then he puts him and pops on the bench. Now, I know they played on Wednesday night, but come on, the lads are 21 years of age. But only playing one game a week. It's the only time we've had a midweek game. He should have started, but then both should have been started.
Well, Diouf didn't get rested.
No. No, obviously midfield you do more running. I know,
I don't know about that. I think when you're a wing back, you're going up and down the wing. But
he gets up and down, but he's like. But I'm saying in midfield, it's obviously the oldest. It's Indian room, isn't it? But I just didn't understand that. But especially Magassi had a brilliant game, and he'd have been straight on for me.
Well, what I would have done if I'd have had any concerns on that front, it was only 2 midfield slots really with Paqueta there. I'd have played either Potts or Magassa for half a game each if you had worries about their fitness.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have took Fernandes off at all.
No, but
Fernandes been looking really good.
Brought him off for Souček.
I know. This is it. It's wide position. I don't know what Souček is doing out there. I don't know what it's about. It's ridiculous.
Mate. I don't.
I'll tell you what, Mike. The good thing, Nick.
I've never been able to work Souček out. Never have been able to.
No.
I know he pops up with a goal every now and then. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck he does. I don't know what he does.
The good thing is we've got the window, and we've just got to get a forward in with pace. We've got. Walter's doing really well, but he's obviously not really starting him every game. But you want a young forward with pace in that team, like people say about Traore. Some people want him, some people don't want him. But when you're playing this, like when you want to hit teams on the break, he's perfect for that. You know what I mean? He's got rapid pace.
What perfect for that? Like Somerville was perfect for that today. What you're talking about is going and buying a player that is less clinical than Somerville. He ain't got no final ball and he can't finish for fuck. Have a look at the last time he scored or assisted. So
yeah, I know.
But no, hang on, Gal. When you're playing the way that we play,
go on, carry on.
Chances that you create, they're at a premium. They're hardly. We don't create many chances, which means that your turnover, your conversion rate has got to be high. So that means that the players that you're feeding through into positions have got to be like Bowen. Bowen had half a chance and he scored it. I know that Traore will go and he'll cause problems, and he's big and he's strong and he's fast. And he'll run down the wing and he'll bash people over. Fulham tried it today with him. He did fuck all. Right? So I don't get the thing with Traore because he ain't clinical. He's a shit footballer. He's just fast.
I've seen him in spells in his career.
He's a 100-metre sprinter. That's all he is.
Yeah, I've seen him in spells in his career, but he's unplayable. But he's gone off the boil.
He's a 100-metre sprinter.
Lingard's the same. Lingard came, was doing nothing at Man United.
No, mate, you can't compare the two. Lingard was a talented footballer.
Because he's not doing it at Fulham doesn't mean we can't get a tune out of him.
Yeah, he's shit. He's a
shit player. On that one.
He's a shit player.
I'm not Nick every game. I'm just saying, having someone on the bench that you can bring them on with 20 minutes to go and maybe win your game, turn that 1 point into 3.
Would you not rather go out and get someone that's got the ability to finish a fucking chance?
Yeah, well. So like I say, Traore people are very mixed with him. Obviously, you don't fancy him. I think it'd be good to have on the bench. We need cover. We need position. We need another forward. That's the main thing, isn't it? With pace up front.
I don't rate Traore. Really do look, if he comes in, fine. But for me, that is a player that Fulham use for 3 minutes off the bench at the end of games, and we're talking about bringing him in as our main fucking,
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying start him. I'm saying have him on the bench just I'll give you an option.
Hey?
Because we need to get as many players as we can in January. We need the more options, the better.
Yeah.
We need options in there. You don't know about injuries, suspensions. You just don't know. And once that window shuts, that's it. Then you're stuck with that for the rest of the season. So we've got to get people in. But I'm just hoping West Ham, as soon as that window opens, they get it done, get players in.
Yeah.
But what also about Núñez, the team now, this side of things, we look a lot more stable, solid. Steve-O is totally transformed the bloke, isn't he?
Right. So Gary, you've got 5 minutes, and there's a Brighton fan who's in the chat at the moment called Kerry's just messaged me. Tea time. Call me on 07. Right. So that is my number. I'm putting it in the live chat. Everyone else, this chap can only stay on until 9. So please don't phone in after Gary because let him get on, have his say, and then you can phone in afterwards. So. Tea time, that between 10-2 and 9 o'clock is your slot if you want to phone in. Right, Gary, go on, mate. The floor is yours for 4 minutes.
I've pretty much what I want to say. One other thing. What did you think about their goal today with the handball? Where do you stand on that?
I think Mavropanos should do the dishonest thing and hit the floor, which is what should happen nowadays because referees and VAR, they don't do it unless you do that. So although we criticise players such as Paquetá for hitting the floor and hitting the deck, if you don't do that, you don't get the You have to wait. You have to wait, mate. If that's you have to wait until I finish sorting the Gary. If that's all right. So yeah, if you don't hit the deck, you don't get it.
I thought
It weren't a handball.
their goal.
It wasn't a handball.
No, you don't think it was?
No, it weren't. It's
well, all right,
no. If you're asking me if I think it was a handball, yes, it's a handball. But by the letter of the law that they've implemented this year, which I've watched loads of games this year where that exact scenario they wave it away. I've seen worse ones than that where people have put their arm out, but they've said, "Oh, it ain't intentional," and nothing gets given. So it weren't a handball by the rules of the game. The only way something like that will get a goal will get disallowed is if it was to have come off of his arm, even accidentally, and gone straight into the net. If that happens, they'll disallow it. But if it's in a in a move, so I'm not. Well, no, that is they're the rules. You can not like the rules.
I mean, also
but
the other
those
thing
are
was,
the rules.
the bloke's foot was very, very high as well, and you took someone's head off.
No, that one I can understand. That one that was the one where we had a case on Mavropanos. But that's where Mavropanos has got to do the right thing, hit the deck, and pretend he's concussed.
Yeah. Listen, get your Brighton fan on. I've had my say. I'll be interested to see what he's got to say on the game. Get the other side of. And you take it easy, mate. Take care.
All right, mate. No worries. Cheers, Gal.
Tonic.
Right, Mr. Brighton fan. Give us a bell. Right, just give it. It might have been you who phoned up there. Let's find out. 1 second. I'll give you a call back.
Oh, Nick, how you doing, mate?
Not bad. Is that tea time?
Yes, mate. Yeah, it is. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself? You all good?
Yeah, not bad. Shocked, to be honest with you.
You're shocked. I mean, I'll tell you. You've only got 10 minutes until 9, ain't you? Before you got to put your kid down. So let me know what your thoughts were on that game today, anyway.
Well, my brother had come across from Australia to watch that with me today. It was his first game at Brighton. He was falling asleep in the first half.
It was boring.
It was incredibly boring. I think we've looked pretty good this year so far for our standards. But yeah, no, first half atrocious. We saw it last week with Villa or in the week. We went 2-0 up, blew it by half time. It was 2-2. So yeah, there's a lot of we've got quite a divided fan base at the moment regarding our manager. But in terms of the game,
do you want to swap?
No, I'll pass on that bit.
You sure you don't fancy a swap? No, you sure?
Well, I'll tell you that in February.
Yeah. Well, go on.
But yeah, no, I mean that last decision, I was obviously there. At the time, it looks like, first of all, high foot. How that wasn't given, I've got no idea. And if it's not given, it's a handball. And there's a free kick either way. It's either a free kick and a yellow card for a high foot, or even more than that, or it's a free kick for the handball. Either way, there's no way to get around it. I said it on my video. I run a Brighton page over on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I think however you look at it, there's two decisions there. If you miss one, fair enough, but get the other one right. And yeah, most of my mates are West Ham. But, it's seen every week, especially with West Ham. I've noticed this sort of trend that's going on. It's almost like the refs that you get have never kicked a ball in their life. But yeah, that's my overall sort of outlook on that. We're very lucky.
So your opinion was for me, it weren't a handball based on, it is a handball. So in the rules of the game that any sane person watching the game, that's a handball. It should be disallowed. Mm-hmm. But by the letter of the law that they've implemented this year, I couldn't recite to you what that is, but I've seen countless things like that waved away this year. They're like, no, it's not intentional. It's not leading directly to a goal. It's not this. It's not that. And you're just like, what is the fucking rule? I don't understand what the rule is. But the Mavropanos one, that was one. Do you know what? It's a shame, right? Because people complain about players taking, we do it ourselves. We've got a player, Lucas Paqueta, and our own fans criticise him for hitting the floor and diving and stuff like that. But the trouble is, if you don't dive when you get contact, you ain't getting a foul.
No, 100%.
You ain't getting a foul. So when you get contact, doesn't matter what it is, if you don't hit the floor and scream, The referee's not. If you brush it off, the referee's giving you nothing. We had one last week. Souček was in the box against Man United. He got clipped in the box, 100%, mate. If he goes down, that's a pen. Stays on his feet. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But too honest, you shouldn't really criticise players for being honest. But that's the thing. I think when you've got, especially with VAR now, you know, people should almost be fucking rewarded for doing that. If you want to cut diving out the game, then start, you know, I don't know, doing the right thing. But that one with Mavropanos, 100%. You know, the bloke literally booted him in the head. I think that should have been looked at personally.
Well, exactly.
But nonetheless, at that stage, mate, and you know, in Brighton's defence, I don't think that anyone with the type of block that we put on today, we were very well organised, incredibly well organised. You know, it wasn't just any old low block that we put on there. We had 5 at the back, we had 4 in front. Also, everyone was really organised. I don't think anyone could have cut through that. I don't think anyone could have cut through it, and I don't enjoy watching that style of football. It kills me. I think it spoils the game. You know, I want to win the game ultimately, but we're better than that. West Ham are better than that. You know, it's almost like how you would expect. For me, I see that style of football personally as, I don't know, you know, like a team that's just been promoted. You know, you're playing against Man City. You can't even go. You can't even attempt to go toe to toe with them. So what you do is you try and stop them from playing. And it just feels like, I just think that's how we're going to approach every game. So in Brighton's defence, I don't know what you would have expected Brighton to do in that game. The only reason you created any chances towards the end was because we lost all of our organisation, because he took off our attacking threat. So at least when we had a bit of attacking threat on the pitch, we did have that with Somerville and Wilson. You couldn't pile onto us. But then once it kind of I don't know. Once we got deeper and deeper and deeper, and we invited you on, I think even if that goal hadn't have happened, we probably would have conceded another one, even though there was only a couple of minutes left. Didn't somebody say you had 0 shots in 90 minutes and you had 4 in injury time, which is really disappointing for us, because we keep on doing that, you know. And the thing is, you would imagine that the manager that witnessed what he witnessed against Man United earlier in the week, which was Ruben Amorim, when they was 1-0 up, he made that decision, Amorim, to try and sit on a 1-0 lead, took off attackers, brought on defenders, and it bit him in the arse. And then Nuno's just tried to do exactly the same thing. You can't try and protect a 1-0 lead like that. Not in that way. I think it's madness. But,
no, exactly.
You know?
And we had a similar thing when we had Graham Potter. I know you lot have had you've had the bad.
I hate it.
But so do we, because obviously he left us like everyone else does and goes to Chelsea for knows how much money. But yeah, no, I think Nuno, everyone knows Brighton is quite a, like, keep the ball on the deck, pass it about, make 500 passes, keep possession,
you're a good team,
and then fuck it up later on down the line.
Yeah.
But we've always struggled against Nuno's sides in general. You know, you look last season when he was at Forest, we lost 7-0 up there.
7-0, I know.
So yeah, I was looking at going into today. And you know what? It's a real shame. As I said, I've got loads of West Ham mates and family members, but the decline, and it all stems from that fucking owner of yours. And I feel genuinely awful for you lot. As soon as he fucks off, you know, West Ham are back to where they should be, really. Because I don't look at West Ham and think for a second that you should be anywhere near the bottom 3.
What's annoying, although, you know, you guys are getting frustrated with your current manager and this, that, the other, you can't, undoubtedly, you've got a very well-run club. You know, really well-run in terms of, you know, the way that your succession planning with players as well as managers. And, you know, if this current manager goes, your next manager's already fucking lined up. You know who's coming in. You know what's going on. That it's such a well-run business, if you like. West Ham, you would not even believe how bad we've been run. I mean, when you go back to when we won the Conference League, right now, we'd had a terrible Premier League season, just narrowly escaped relegation that year. It was a 35-game relegation battle. I thought we was gone when we'd lost to Newcastle. But anyway, we went on, we won that cup. You're in the Europa League next year. You've got some star players. You know, fair enough, Declan Rice left, but you've got the Declan Rice money. We've brought in Kudus. We've brought in Alvarez. We've got Paquetá. We've got all of these players. That was the point where West Ham could have made a statement, you know, shook hands with David Moyes at that point and said, off you pop. Thanks for the trophy. Well done. You're a legend. Because apparently what the manager that we had lined up at that stage was Marco Silva at Fulham. So we could have had him come in and take us forward, and we could have invested properly. But ever since that point, the whole team and everything around it has just been fucking destroyed and dismantled in the most pathetic way. You know, when you look at it, it drives you fucking mad. So as well as, look, I'm not going to tell you what to be happy with and what not to be happy with. You know, you're kind of, everyone's problems are relative at football clubs. You know, you're you know, the issues that you've got with your manager and what's going on, you know, they're relative to you. But honestly, we haven't even given ourselves a fucking cat in hell's chance. Even, do you know what? If I'm being honest, right? So I thought after Moyes, Lopetegui was a bad appointment. But what chance did he have really? And then after that, you bring in Potter in. I think Potter's shit. But what chance did he have really? And you know what? I think the same with Nuno as well. He's doing all right. He's doing some good things. But ultimately, you just know with this ownership that they're going to fuck up. And the worry is for us this season, mate, is that the bottom three are not as terrible as what they historically are. And we're well and truly in it. You know, this could be one of those seasons where you need 40 points to survive. And if it is, I think we're in shit, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think because as you said about Nuno, he's so defensive minded. And, you know, you've got players like Bowen that want to go forward, want to, you know, create good things. And I was who did you have last week?
We had Man United and Liverpool. We had Liverpool last week. We lost 2-0 to Liverpool, didn't we? Didn't even try and lay a fucking glove on them.
Yeah. And, well, really, I think that was a game that you really had nothing to lose. You know, Liverpool were on a shit run of form. And I think all it would have taken is, because I saw that Paqueta incident as well, and Bowen not pulling him away. But I think all it's going to take is someone to turn around to Nuno and say, right, fuck what you say. We're going to play the style of football that we want to play, be creative. And I think if anyone was to turn around to the fans and go, well, you know, they didn't listen to me, blah, 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 blah. The fans would go, yeah, but they played with creativity. They played with like desire. They wanted it because they're playing for themselves.
Yeah, you do need that. And we had that at times under Moyes towards the end. There were certain games where we know that I think a lot of it was driven by the likes of Paquetá and Declan Rice, who was a captain at the time. But you do need big characters with big bollocks that will do that. Because you know what, when we've all played football, and sometimes that does happen. Sometimes the players on the pitch can feel the game better than the people that are watching it, including the fucking manager. And sometimes you do know, and we've seen it before, right? When we was playing Bournemouth earlier in the season. We'd just beat Newcastle, probably our best performance this year. We then went and played Burnley with exactly the same lineup. On paper, it looked exactly the same, but the difference was they were sitting in a fucking low block. Burnley ripped us to pieces for about 30 minutes until they scored. And then at that point, the team, they switched. They fucking went up 2 gears. They went up the pitch, and we ended up beating them 3-1. That wasn't Nuno driven. That was driven by the players.
Yeah, of course. No, exactly.
That's driven by the players. Yeah, and I do. What's your honest opinion for West Ham this season, mate? In terms of whether or not you think that we can survive based on what you've seen. I mean, today was a good example. To be honest.
No, there's no two ways. In my mind, as obviously a neutral to West Ham, I don't see you lot going down. There's not a conversation in this world that will say to me, you know what, West Ham are in fucking trouble. West Ham are one of the worst 3 teams in this league. There's 5 that are worse than you lot. And, you know, something needs to change. I'll agree with you on that. And whether that is the players having their own bollocks and going, you know what, fuck this bloke, we're doing what we want.
Yeah.
Or something. As the more the season goes on, the more this little relegation thing carries on. I think Wolves are gone. Burnley are gone. I think Forest, you're better than Forest. You're better than Leeds. I think Leeds will slip down into it. Even Fulham I can see dropping off and Brentford.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my eyes, the West Ham that I've seen throughout the season as a neutral fan, and even last season, I think it's going to get to a point where something will switch, and you'll have it might even be after tonight, because I didn't think you looked bad tonight at all. And obviously you deserve to win it in my eyes.
Yeah. I think we had the better chances, the cleaner chances in the game.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But in my eyes, in my eyes, there is no chance in this world that West Ham go down this year.
Okay, mate.
Not a chance.
And before you go, Brighton, what are your expectations for Brighton this season? How far do you think you could? Because if you'd have won tonight, you could have gone 5th.
Yeah, you know what? It's a weird one with us because obviously under Roberto De Zerbi, until he decided to turn around and fuck off, got us into Europe. We had a lot of fans going, that was all Potter, that was all Potter. It fucking weren't Potter at all.
Yeah.
Because you've seen how Potter's gone on to be. There is not a chance in hell that fucking bloke can take a team to Europe.
No,
so he's got more chance driving me.
He is fucking hopeless. I mean, I can honestly say, as much as Nuno's frustrated me, he's done way more in 8 games than Potter did, and Potter had a window as well.
Yeah.
So he's a Potter's fucking awful. He was a really bad manager. But I know he didn't do bad for Brighton. No, I mean he done all right, but that was kind of the only argument that people had really, because he crashed at Chelsea, and then you looked at kind of what he did at Brighton, you think, all right, okay, well maybe there is something there, but yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think with our structure and with our owner, obviously, as you mentioned, we're very, very lucky with our owner. I think that sort of pulled Potter along. He was sort of sat on a floating river on a fucking lovely boat, fucking luxuries going on. As soon as he fucked off out the door to Chelsea and went and grabbed all the money, people saw what he was really like.
Yeah.
And then we got De Zerbi. He took us, we topped the group of death in Europe, and we thought, fucking hell, something's going on here. And then, it got to a point where De Zerbi was like, you know what, I want to go back to Italy. And I'm, you know what, fair enough. You came here, you gave us our little European run, whatever it is. And, for little old Brighton, 20 years ago, we were a game away from not even having a club. But I think realistically for us this year, I'd like to see us top 8 and maybe a cup run. But as I say, I'm used to seeing Brighton. Well, my whole life it's always been League One, Championship. I started going in 2005, so I've never seen us fucking even close to winning a trophy or anything like that. But yeah, I reckon I'd like to see top 8 and a cup run if we're being optimistic.
Yeah, look, you're not going to face a low block like that every week. You're not. I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right. I think you'll do. I think you'll be good value for it. I mean, it is hotly contested there. I think teams like Brentford will drop away from it. Bournemouth seem to be struggling a little bit more of late.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely opportunities there, and a lot of those teams up the top at the moment. This could be this is the opportunity for. Do you know like the crazy year, was it 15-16 when Leicester won the league?
Yeah, Leicester.
It isn't quite like that, but a lot of the big teams that are up there at the moment, I don't know. There's not, when you look at the points gap, there's not much in it. So I do think that it's a good opportunity for someone to penetrate that top 4. It is. I think
exactly.
You've got to push for it. You know what I mean? Because these opportunities don't come along very often. But mate, look, it's been good talking to you. Next time we play, which is in a few weeks, drop me a message. We'll do a pre-match or something like that.
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, I'll see whether you'll be all right jumping on the old TikTok as well.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
All right, then. Nice one, mate. Nice speaking to you, Nick. Have a good one, fella.
Top man. Cheers, mate.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye.
Good man. See, he thinks we're staying up. He does. He thinks we're staying up. Right, I've got to phone one more chap now, very, very quickly. 1 minute. Are you going to pick up? Alan, I'm trying to call you.
Hello,
Alan?
Yes.
I don't know what you're. I don't know whether are you on the WhatsApp or are you on the thing. I don't know because you was calling on 2 different devices.
I'm on the WhatsApp.
You are? Okay, mate. All right, lovely. How are you, Alan? Anyway, we finally got you on.
Oh, yeah. At last, I've got through to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good.
What? So what were your thoughts on the game today, mate?
I thought when we went 1-0 up, I thought the substitutions were absolutely crap.
Yeah.
I thought that he shouldn't put Souček on.
No. I mean, that one baffled me, to be honest. I don't know why you would do that. Fernandes was having a brilliant game. He was having a fantastic game.
Yeah, he was.
We was defending. Do you know what? I said it earlier on. That was a brilliant Brighton team that we played today, and we kept them to 0 chances.
Oh, yeah.
And although we parked the bus, right, you've still got the players have still got to be well drilled. They've got to know their jobs. They've got to be able to do their bits and pieces individually. So I do think he kind of he confused it all. I do think he confused it with his changes.
Yeah, I cannot understand why he took Fernandes off and put Souček on.
No, it's bizarre.
That's the one that puzzled me.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Souček. I'm blaming Nuno for the change. Really, it was a silly change. But that said, as the guy said earlier on, right? You know, maybe on this occasion, on this game, I might be being too harsh because he has fucked up in other games. He fucked up against Leeds. He fucked up against Brentford. He fucked up against Bournemouth. He fucked up against Liverpool. And in my opinion,
don't get me started on the Brentford and League games.
I know,
honestly, because honestly, the lineup he put in them games, like absolutely, I looked at the lineup and went, "Oh fuck, we lost."
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, he fucked up against Bournemouth, Man United, and Liverpool, and then Man United. But this one, it's probably the more I think about it, you know, having just spoken to the Brighton chap as well, we did create the best chances in that game. I think we had the better chances to win that game. We did. You know, you had Somerville's chance in the first half. You had Bowen and Somerville's chance in the second half. Mavropanos' one as well. We probably had four really big chances there to score and win. So yeah, maybe I'm being too harsh on Nuno for that one. I don't know.
No, I'd like to go back to the Man United game. Yeah, when they went running up, as you said, they took off their attackers. They put defenders on. We scored, right, and then we should have gone for it. We really should have gone for it. They had no attackers to trouble us. Right? No. And we should have gone for that game. They were sitting back. They were sitting back thinking, "Oh fuck, hang on, they just equalised."
He'd made a massive fuck up there. So Amorim had made a massive fuck up. They didn't capitalise on their chances earlier in the game. I think he went too soon on those defensive subs. We got the goal back, which I don't think he was expecting because we weren't really bothering him that much. But we got the goal back, and then we had 5 minutes left of. When did we score? About 85th minute? I can't remember. Whatever it was.
83rd.
Yeah, 83rd minute we scored. And then you got injury time as well. So you got over 10 minutes. And I just feel like at that point, you got to think, fuck, we had nothing. Now we've got a point. What are Man United really going to do? They're taking their strikers off. Go for the win, man. That is a turning point. All of a sudden,
exactly.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Nuno isn't a fucking wimp. He's a hero because he's gone for the game. He's done what Farke's done, you know, at Leeds, where he's just literally thrown caution to the wind and gone, fuck it, go after it.
Go. But they didn't carry on. They didn't carry on and go for the win.
No, they didn't. But look, what you got to hope is that maybe that builds. I mean, what other hope have we got other than hope itself? Because as it stands at the moment, from what we've seen, Trodgers said there in the in the chat, you know, he needs to grow some bollocks. He does need to grow some bollocks.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He needs to go for the games. He needs, if he can get the team playing and get the equaliser, if we go 1-0 down, then go for the game.
Yeah,
they're on their back foot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, and the thing is, I think what we've seen as well today, anyway, is that we can create chances. I mean, I thought, look, Wilson, I did not want him to come in. I was fuming when he came in, but you know, I've got to kind of almost take I've almost got to doff my cap to him because he came in knowing that West Ham. He came in knowing that West Ham fans didn't like him. He knew it, right? And he came in, and do you know something? I think you'd struggle now to find a West Ham fan that doesn't rate him now. I think he's done well. He's done really well.
When I saw Wilson come in, I thought, for fuck's sake, another aged player. He's injury prone. He's this, he's that. But my God, has he turned it on?
It's been. I mean, and you know what? It just goes to show you as well, right? Because he isn't aging. He's half the player that he was. How good must he have been? And this is the thing. And what it goes to show you is as well is that is what a striker looks like. You know, we haven't had a proper fucking striker for a long, long time. We haven't. Antonio done amazing things for us. He carried us. He did his best. He weren't a striker. He was put there, and he carried this team. He done a brilliant job. But we haven't had a proper striker for so long. You know?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. And like, we need people like Wilson. But I'd love a younger Wilson. Like, if we can find a younger Wilson.
Well, I think they will. I think he's going to have to in the summer. You know, there's. Oh, I just don't want to fucking talk about transfer links anymore.
No, hang on, no. I saw your conversation with SportX, right, with Neymar and Kia George.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that's true, and I totally believe both of you, right, this club should bend over backwards to get both of them.
Yeah, look, it's true. You know, the link's there. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. It was true that we was linked with John Duran. Well, not linked. We had deals on the table for John. When SportsX, what people don't realise what SportsX is. I had people saying, "What agent is he? What he is?" Right? He's basically a director of football for clubs that haven't got directors of football. That's what he is. So what SportsX will do, he isn't someone that's got like a Will Salthouse. It's got a catalogue of players. Only these ones that you can choose from. Yeah, but what he is, he's an intermediary that you go out and you contact and you say, right, we need a striker. SportsX will basically analyse the team. He'll look at what we've got first and foremost, look at what we need, go out, find the opportunities that are out there, wrap the deals up, package them up, both sides, dealing with the agents, the players, the fucking club. He'll do all of that, get the deal done, put it on the table for fucking Sullivan to sign, and every single time they fucked up. Do you know John Duran? We could have picked him up for 25 million the first time around. 25 million. Right?
Yeah, but the thing is, as if I was an owner of a club or a manager of a club, right, I don't care who the agent is. I don't care who sets it up. If they can give me the player that I need, right, at a reasonable price, I would take him.
Yeah, but
I don't care who the agent is.
Yeah, but this is the trouble. West Ham fans, I didn't for a long time. We don't understand how it all works, and unfortunately, the world of football is a very, very fucking corrupt and ugly place. And that is a problem. And you don't get the best players. You get the players that you get given, and you pay whatever you need to pay to fucking keep all of your friends happy. So that is essentially what happens.
Yeah, but we pay over the fucking odds when we don't have to, right? If we listen to the people involved with the players, right, at the value that they are offering us, right, we could have got so many players, right, that would benefit our team cheaper than
that's the word. That's the word, cheaper. Because when you look at the money that we've hemorrhaged, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Every now and then, we'll somehow uncover a gem and we'll get good value for money. We'll look at one that we've got just recently, Magassa, you can look at that player and go 15 million. That's cheap as fuck for him. I mean, that's one player we've actually got a bargain on that one. I
still think we got a bargain with Fernandez as well.
Not for 40 million. He's a good player, really good player, and I'm glad we've got him. But 40 million's a lot of money. I'm glad we've got him.
But he's only 21. Like, imagine what he's going to... If he keeps improving like he does, like he has been in recent games, right, over the next 3 or 4 years, imagine how much he's going to be worth.
Well, I hope you're right. Look, nonetheless, there's certain players that I look at West Ham, and I think Fernandez, Fernandez could be one of them as well, because I quite like this about him, right? I don't look at Fernandez and think that he's too good for us and that he's going to move on and go elsewhere. I actually don't. I look at Fernandez and I think, you're a West Ham player, mate. That's what I see with Fernandez, and I quite like that. There's certain other players, Kudus, when he came in and he gave us 6 months of what he could do, you look at him and think,
yeah,
but you look at him and you think, you ain't going to be here 2 minutes, mate. You know, there's certain players, but there's certain players that you look at and you think they're just here. It's a stopgap. They're going to fuck off. They're going to go elsewhere. I think
it's a showground.
Yeah, I think Fernandes.
It's what I call showground players.
Yeah. But I think Fernandes, to me, he looks like providing we stay in the Premier League, Fernandes could be a West Ham player for a long time. He could be. We've had it before with these players. You know, we had Lanzini for fucking God knows how long. So there's certain players that do come in and they just fit the club. I think that Fernandes fits West Ham, and I don't think he's too good for West Ham either, which is nice. It's nice.
Do you know? I know it might divide people, but I thought Ben Rama was the same player.
I thought Ben Rama was. Do you know something? Ben Rama was. I felt sorry for him, and you know something? He's a player that I think if Ben Rama had the right manager, would have been an absolute fucking superstar. I do.
Fucking gem.
I think he would have been, but I think he just needed managing differently, and he definitely he had an issue with Moyes. We know that. You know, Moyes was very good at managing certain players. You know, certain players out there that absolutely fucking love him. But there's certain things. He's old-fashioned, Moyes, and I think Ben Rama had kind of not special needs in that way, but special needs. He's like needed an arm round him.
Little cuddle. You're playing well, mate.
Moyes,
carry on playing the way you're doing.
Moyes ain't putting his fucking arm around you. He's not doing that.
He probably doesn't put his arm around his fucking missus.
No, he don't. But anyway, Alan, mate, it's been absolutely a pleasure to talk to you, mate. I'm glad we finally got you on.
Can I say one thing?
Of course you can.
Thank you for you and the other two choosing me as the Ludo winner.
No worries, mate. And I have spoken to Nicky as well. I don't know whether you've got the picture yet, but Nicky's it's with E13 events. So E13 events are the ones that are going to send you the picture. So Nicky's provided the chat with the details, so you will get that when it comes. But yeah,
but thank you.
It's all reserved.
I saw the video and I said, like, it said the prize winner, and I watched the video, watched the Man United game, watched it through, and then you turned around and said, like, now we have the winner, and you mentioned my name. My jaw hit the fucking floor.
No, it's nice to win things, mate, and you know what, your message was, especially with what's happening with Ludo at the moment, the fact that you'd recovered from cancer, and you'd met him at that point in Prague as well. And, you know, he was, look, I think at that time when you met him, he must have known he had cancer at that stage.
Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did.
And the thing is, you know, do you know something? We've had nothing but bad news at West Ham just lately in terms of stuff like that, because we've had Ludo. You know, that's really fucking sad. Really sad. Billy Bonds, awful. Absolutely awful. Billy,
oh no, don't.
But I tell you what else, mate. Last week what came out, Shaka Islop, bless him. You know, he's
I know.
He's in his 50s, prostate cancer. Horrible.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that as well. Right. Can I say one thing, like, about your how can I say, like, your pretend fans at West Ham?
Yes.
Like, yeah, mate, I went to the Crystal Palace game.
Yep.
And my wife bought me, like, a hospitality ticket. Mm-hmm. Right, I'm sitting there. Right, I've got two Israelis next to me on the left-hand side. I've got a French bloke behind me who didn't shut the fuck up all game.
Yeah.
Right, and then I've got a Canadian next to me. I'm starting to shout at the game, and he says, "Can you stop shouting? It's upsetting my kids."
Yeah, mate. I don't know whether you. Do you remember when John Kamei used to phone in, the barrister?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, John Kamei's literally a fucking diehard West Ham fan. He's been going for his entire life. But obviously, he's doing well in life. So he when he was going, he ain't going. He's giving it up. He's basically he was in the posh seats. But the reason he basically stopped going in the end was because John, although he's no longer on the terraces bit in with the rabble. He still acts like he's in the Bobby Moore stand. He's still got the same kind of the same actions. He's got a filthy mouth, John. He's got a filthy mouth. He gets angry, and he was getting the same thing. He was getting people around him, surrounding him, that was looking at him funny when he was losing his shit, which he does. He's got a terrible temper, John. He has. He's got a terrible temper, and stewards as well. And he just had to give it up in the end. It wasn't.
No, I went to another game when we had that Conference League run. Right, and I went to every home game in that Conference League run. I was literally sitting behind the away team. Right, yeah. I was having a laugh. Right, I was actually talking to the players of the team. Right, and like when they went up, he turned around and went 1-0, 1-0. I went, yeah. When we equalised, I went absolute apeshit. I mean, yeah, there we go. Yeah. There you go. Right, this is where we start. This is where you go out the cup. Right, the steward come up to me and turned around and said, if you start saying that again, right, I will throw you out the cup.
And this was at West Ham.
I went, yeah. I went, hang on, I'm supporting my team. I'm having a laugh with it. I've been talking to...
How it normally works when you go to corporate, because I've done a lot of that because of the job that I do, be professional I do. Yeah. Normally what happens when you go to an away corporate day, you would show class and you wouldn't, if you would at least try. You'd at least try to go. If you're unless you're at Tottenham and you think fuck them. But if you're anywhere else,
I'm sorry. I might get slated for this, right? They can slate me this, but fuck the idiots.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. But
I might get slated for symptomatic fucking like things. I don't give a fuck.
To be fair, they do call themselves the Yid Army. That's what they do.
That's
they do.
Unfortunately, my eldest boy is a Yid.
Yeah. Oh, was he?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he is.
Did you? When did you find out? Did you throw him out the house, or do you still talk to him?
No, he lives in New Zealand now, so I fucked him off.
That's good. Yeah, get him out of the country. It's the best way. Get him out of the country. But
but my youngest turned around and said, "Hang on, who did Tottenham hate?" I went Arsenal. He said, "Right, I'm going to be a fucking Arsenal fan."
Oh, really? Oh, fuck me. That's interesting. You're actually got a West Ham and Arsenal and a Tottenham fan. But
no. They're away. I don't. Yeah. They're away from me. Oh, I'm in a different household now, so.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry to hear that, mate. Well, look, Alan. Anyway, it was lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much for phoning in.
And it's lovely to speak to you. At last, I've spoken to you.
No, it's been good to chat to you, mate. Thank you very much for the call.
Thank you very much. I would love to come on again.
No worries,
if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll have a chat again. No problem. All right, Al?
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Oh, lovely man. Well done, mate. Well done. Right, if anyone else does want to phone in, we'll make this the last call. I'll put my number in there again. There you go. I'll put my number in the chat. If anyone wants to phone in now. Or forever hold your peace. Here we go. Right, it's the last one. Oh, sorry, mate. Hang on 1 minute. Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it's all right to have a quick word with him?
With who?
With Nick.
Yeah, no, I'm here, mate. Yeah. Oh, you think I've got a switchboard? I haven't got a switchboard. No. Mate, all you're doing is
I'm watching you on the telly now. So
right. No, lovely, mate. No, that's fine. What's your name, mate? Anyway,
it isn't Larry the Loop. You called me Larry the Loop last time.
Larry the Loop, mate. You are Larry the Loop. Oh, that was John. John called you Larry the Loop, didn't he?
Yeah, and I put him straight. I didn't get a takeaway. I'd never order anything.
Oh, mate.
My job. That kicked in, I tell you.
What would you like to chat about this evening, anyway, mate?
I've got a list of little things here. I just wrote them down, but one of them was.
You're very organised. You're very organised.
Well, I did it this time because I never remember.
Hang on a minute, Larry the Lube, was you stoned off your nut last time you phoned him? Was that you? I can't remember now.
Absolutely, I was.
Oh, it was you. It was you, wasn't he?
I was one spray, absolutely. Yeah, well, I sent him a text, and then it started to kick in. You know what it's like, and I was absolutely bombed. And I thought, I don't know if I can keep it. Anyway, it wasn't terrible, was it? It was quite coherent.
Yeah. No, it was a good show. That was good. Good call, mate. Good call. Larry the Lube will live forever.
Yeah, but I'm not Larry the Lube. Larry the Bastard.
Yeah, no, right. Go on, Larry the Bastard. Right, we'll start this list. Start this list that you've got then, Larry. Come on.
Right. Well, basically, I think it was a bit of a mistake letting Macaulay go. I didn't think that was a very good idea. And if the Magassa thing was down to him, then maybe he could spot a player. Maybe he should have hung on to him. And we paid to get him out of a contract, let him go for nothing, and then he goes straight to another job at Man United.
Straight into Man United. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't understand it myself. I mean, if you look at the fact that what was two of the players that he's brought in were let's ignore Hermansen, but he brought in Magassa, I believe. Did he bring in Magassa and he brought in Diouf?
I think Potter wanted him, Magassa. Triasaurus Rex, that's what he called him.
Yeah, but that would have been via Macaulay because Potter.
Yeah,
but Potter relied heavily on Macaulay for player recruitment, so it would have been Macaulay. Yeah,
but it would have bet somebody. He was a data analyst, right? If you're gonna, sooner or later, we're going to have to move into the 21st century. So why wouldn't you have someone who'd already done that job? You already had them there. It seems ludicrous to me.
Didn't they get rid of the other geezer as well? Who was it? Was it Hans Gruber? Who was the other one? The hangover from Tim. So we almost had the makings of a scouting team, like these little fucking brain bods that could sit in front of a computer and crunch numbers, which is what Brightron do. So you've got these people there, and they've just fucked him off. I mean, like you just said, you get Macaulay in, you pay £1 million to Chelsea to get him out of his contract. Fair enough, Potter's shit, get rid of him. But there's nothing wrong with Macaulay. What?
No, it's the baby in the bathwater. But I just said another thing to tell you, right? So and I got this corporate thing at Upton Park, which wasn't great, but I took my son. Yeah. And I've got a beef with Alan Pardew. I hated him when he was West Ham manager. I hated him before he was there, and it was a couple of things that had built up before that.
What happened? What happened with Alan Pardew? Tell us, Larry. Was there any lube? Was there any lube involved?
There was no lube involved. No. Not the phones was there. But no, what it was, I went to the game and I really wanted to see Billy Bonds. I know, funny we bring that up. Yeah. And he wasn't there, but Brooking was there with his wife and this, that, and the other. Anyway, I went with my son, and he was probably about 16 at the time. Yeah, about 16. And I said to my mate Pete, who's a Chelsea fan, but we always used to go to Brentford. So it's just as miraculous what's happened to Brentford as what's happened to Brighton. So we were going on about Brighton and Bournemouth.
Yeah,
they were always a fourth division team looking to get re-elected into the fourth division. So that's how I remember going up. So when I see him, as every season Brentford are in top flight and QPR on, it's just bliss for me. Yeah. My little personal. But anyway, Pardew turned up with Terry Bullivan. And Alex, my son, he was looking at his phone. He said, Brentford are in the playoffs. They were in about 30,000 playoffs and never went up. I think they got the record of failures, and I think they were the first team to lose at the Millennium Stadium.
Just very quickly, Larry. Someone, Eddie Green's just messaged in. It's unrelated, right? But he said he was at the game tonight, and he's so proud of the boys. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, hang on, his message just disappeared. But after the game, a young boy was cornered by the old Bill, and they was nicking him for basically shouting in terms of what he was saying. He was being nicked for his verbal. What the fuck is going on in this country? Honestly, it's a football match.
Well, the London stadiums are worse for that. I know it was just a call wrong going about.
For fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? It was always, but you know something? Football was always. It used to belong to the working classes, and that was literally like a place where everyone could go and you could banter, vent, and do all that stuff. Yeah,
the comedy, the funny blokes who were there who'd shout mad things out. It was hilarious. Part of the whole thing, and it's another thing that's kind of gone.
Yeah,
can I get back to parties? because I hate him.
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So I was just.
No, it's fine. You're not interrupting. It's your show, isn't it?
But anyway,
it's
your show. It's the phone-in show. It's your show.
I ever bump into him.
Yeah.
So I went up, was sort of talking to him, and I said that my son said to Terry Bullivan, Brentford have got in the playoffs. And he said, well, why would I be interested in that? And I said, well, because you used to play with them, didn't you? Before you went to Palace. And he was sort of looking. I thought, so he got off on a bad foot.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pardew, I don't like him. And I was sort of saying, where do you get off on playing one striker up front against our biggest rivals? And he said, what are you on about? I said, the Millwall game, when we got smashed 4-1 there. Because I used to do a bit on Radio London, and they got me a free ticket. When I went to Marylebone in the morning to pick the ticket up, they said, we can't let you have it because of that fixture. So I didn't go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was fuming. I was actually decorating the house that day. Not that it took long more than a day, believe me. But anyway, and it went, we got hammered, didn't we? And I was sort of, I was fuming. Because I don't really want to lose to Millwall, do you? Anyway, and I said to him, and he goes, yeah, well, we got to the cup final. And I said, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And look what happened to that. And it sort of got a bit heated, and I won't go into what was said, but anyway, he left. And it was really fun because about 2 minutes later, Trevor Brooke's wife got up, and they were just in front of us. And she said, oh, that went well.
Yeah.
So it made me laugh. And then I got a Billy Bond story. I was on a train, random stupid train going, God knows where. There was 4 young ladies got on, really lovely ladies, and they were saying, oh, we went to a do and we won a signed Tottenham Hotspur football. She goes, I'm not really sure what to do with it. So you got to interject.
Yeah.
And I said, well, look, you've got a sharpened screwdriver about battle. I said, stick that through it, and the next time you have a bonfire, straight on the top.
Fucking right and all.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like when the Spurs fan ran on the pitch and punched Frank Lampard. Do you remember that when he was playing for Chelsea?
Country's gone.
And I was saying, what a liberty in this day and age. I mean, there's a queue to punch Frank Lampard. How's this bloke just jump in front of the queue and go and doing that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to punch him. Anyway. So she's
mate, it gets worse. Sorry, 1 second. Eddie Green's corrected himself here. You'll have to go back to your story in a second about Billy. Sorry to interrupt. But he said, sorry, Nick, my finger hit the wrong button. He was shouting Diouf. But apparently they said that he was shouting Puff.
Yeah.
They've nicked him for that. I mean, for fuck's sake, honestly.
Well, hopefully he's got a few bob and he can get a solicitor.
Oh, mate. If we find out who he is, we'll do a crowdfund for him.
Yeah, have a little chip in and whatnot. Anyway, so she said, what football do you support? So West Ham United. She said, I grew up living next door to Billy Bond. He was our next door neighbour and he babysat us when we were kids. And I said, really? I said, what's he like? He said, he was like he's such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
It was mad. And I said, oh, right, blah, blah, blah. And it was great. And I said, but don't forget, stick the screwdriver in the ball and burn it. Or put it on eBay. Don't leave it lying around the house because it'll just bring bad karma.
Yeah.
The other thing, I did send you a text and I said, I got a neighbour keeps walking past, an Arsenal fan. He's quite a nice guy. Anyway, and he was saying to me,
do you trip him up and throw lube at him?
No. Why do you keep bringing the lube up? Because of cycling. I've just had shoulder surgery.
God, sorry, mate. Go
on. Mark Phillips. Did he lose his job at West Ham?
No, that was ages ago, wasn't it? That was when he went on a fucking Lads Alliance. Was it football FLA match? Football Lads Alliance.
It wasn't a recent thing.
No, it was years ago, wasn't it? That he went on that, and they because it's you can't have that at West Ham because we have very high standards in our board. With the board members. You can't be seen to be doing anything that's considered in bad taste. David Sullivan, he sets a really high bar. So
he does.
So
you can't for their political beliefs. Did you know that? And one other thing.
Yeah, go on.
Right,
he knows all about lube. David Sullivan knows all about lube. Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate.
Selling it for years. I'll tell you what, we are going to meet up. This lube thing, I've got to crush this before it builds up.
It's building, mate. You're never going to get rid of it, mate. Do you know something? If you've got mates that watch this now, you don't know it yet, but you are now known as Larry the Loop. You are?
I haven't got any mates, full stop, never mind watching.
Well, you have. You got all of us in here, and you are known as Larry the Loop. You are.
No,
you are.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Anyway, the other thing is, obviously, it didn't really make the press, was Mark Taylor died.
Oh, yes.
64 years old.
Yeah.
Pancreatic cancer. I suppose it was because of the furore surrounding the Errol Christie fight, which I went to. So that was a bit sad as well. I thought, blimey, it just shows you how it catches up with me, because he's only a year older than me.
Yeah, it does put. Like I said, I mean, this past few weeks we had, obviously, a lot of the West Ham channels and the West Ham world. We was all remembering, not remembering. Sorry, he ain't gone yet, but we know that things are not looking very good for Ludo at the moment. They're not. In fact, that interview that he did with West Ham Fan TV is very likely to be his last interview. He's still working for his club at the moment in the Czech Republic, but we was remembering him and sort of going back on that. You had the thing with Billy Bonds as well, which is just devastating, absolutely fucking devastating. And you know something, more than you realise as well. Not you, because you're from that generation. You probably know exactly what this is all about. But obviously, I remember Billy Bonds as a manager. I was alive when he was still playing, but I don't really remember him because I only sort of started going when I was probably 7 or 8. I was born in 80, and I think he stopped in 88. So I haven't got any sort of real vivid memories of Billy playing. I know what he's all about. I know he played 799 appearances. I've seen all of his clips. I know exactly what he represents. But you know something? But when I see how hard this is hit, I'm part of a group at the moment that Hammers United have put together. And when I see how hard this has hit the generation of people that were following this guy at the time, do you know something? I think a big part of West Ham has died with Billy. A big part of West Ham has died with Billy because I think he represented an awful lot of what we crave. He kind of he was an archetypal. A lot of what people grew up. They grew up with Billy Bonds. Then he was manager, and the guy was with us forever, wasn't he? I mean, the amount of fucking games he played was insane. Yeah,
he left Charlton. But here's the thing, right? Even after he died, I've seen Millwall fans posting stuff, because there's not many players who would have had such a career at West Ham and who would have gone over to Millwall, had a coaching career there, and not got slated, and they had nothing but respect for him. And I think that speaks more than there's not many players who'll be able to do that, is there? And he was one of them. So
no.
That says a lot. And that, I mean, they would never do us any favours, even though I think that derby's lost a little bit of its bite anyway. I mean, it has started to die out a little bit, but
yeah, it has.
They're going well. We could be playing them next season, and we can stay up.
Well, you never know. You never know. Or we'll just switch places. They'll come up. We'll go down. Who knows?
Yeah, well,
who knows?
That might be better, mightn't it?
It might be. But anyway, Larry, lovely talking to you as ever, mate.
Listen, stay out of trouble, you crazy kid, and we'll catch up.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, mate.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye. Look, LTEL, I don't care, mate. What? I don't care. I'll put Brightron, not Brighton. I ain't even going to fucking edit it. They're going to stay as Brightron. All right? I'm not even going to change it. Anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed the show this evening. If you did, or even if you fucking didn't, you've watched it. There's still 463 people of you watching. Please drop a like on the video before you go, if you wouldn't mind. That would be nice. That ain't the Poxy Lover in the chat. You have to come out the live chat and click the thumbs up. It would be lovely. Oh, have a look. Hello there, mate. Is that Lawrence from Lexington, Kentucky? I've definitely had too much fucking wine tonight. I've got an early start. I've got to drive to fucking Taunton tomorrow in the morning. Right, I better go. Sitting on my arse drinking red wine. Right, love you all. It's been a nice show. Yeah, I'm going to go, all right? Who just fucking thumbed me down? You absolute wanker. I just saw someone thumb me down when I said thumb me up. Fuck you. That's what I'll say to you. Fucking up your arse. Right, I'm going to go. Speak to you all later. Come on, you ides.